Greetings, everyone. Tommy Hawksblood here, calling from the Big Island of Hawaii. All right, people. That's a song written by a friend of mine about chemtrails, if you don't know what he's singing about. And it was done a long time ago, and nothing's been done about that as well. So today's going to be hardcore. So I'm going to bring the co-host on. Sit back, enjoy the show. Forget, this isn't a comedy show. This isn't for entertainment. This is only to bring the truth out to people that might want to hear it. Hold on.
Hello.
Hi, greetings, Tina. How are you today?
Hello, everybody. I'm Tina Bird from Southampton in the UK, and welcome to Encounters tonight. We've got a great show for you. As you can see, there are two kinds of UFO speakers that are out there now, and I'm going to chuck it back to Tommy, but I'm just going to say hi to John in the chat room and everybody else that follows us. Tommy.
Greetings, okay. Now, we're going to get down to a couple major things going on in the UFO world. I've been involved with this all my life. Tina's been pulled into it all her life as well. So we're not storytellers. We don't make up stories to make people happy or enjoy themselves or get entertained. What she went through in her life was horrible. What I went through mine, I could say I was a little more protected because I didn't get abducted on the ship, but I did chase the alien ships away and the aliens as well. But I have filmed more UFOs than anybody else in the United States with a person name, I'm not going to say his name, from 1996 to 2002. We put the pictures on TV every week. We put four or five new pictures every week as well. Nobody cared. And I'm talking about photographs of real ships, not dots floating around and spinning around. But the UFO world's trying to show a little more videos taken by people. But they're not even getting close to the truth of what's happening and why, where they're coming from, and all the other things that are much more important than seeing a ship go by and trying to blame the government for doing something bad or whatever. So I'm going to go into a couple of different names as we go through the show, what's going on, and why I'm doing this show in the first place. The UFO world was really important from 1996 to 2002. They were bringing the truth out. All the people in the UFO world were incredible speakers, had actual experiences. A few of them worked for the government. I knew a couple important people in the whole UFO world altogether. One of them was part of MJ-12. Another one was part of the Montauk Project and Philadelphia Experiment. So I'm not a storyteller and I'm not making up things, but I know what's going on, which most people don't. And if you're not aware of this, Sean David Martin's pretty well close to his end times, but he's still hanging in there really hard. He's going to try to put out his 8th book, and if you haven't read it, it's probably the second most important book in the UFO world, called Sands of Time. And it's not a story, it's real truth what's in it. Now, Fred Bell, who was also killed 2 days after he did a show with Jesse Ventura, his book is incredible. You need to pull up Fred Bell's book because, you want the truth. All these people coming out with things they said 30 years ago. And they're trying to make it sound like it's new or it's important now. But no, it was out a long time ago and nothing was done about it. Mr. Musk is still talking about going to Mars. He has no clue what's up on Mars. I write him letters every day. He lied to me a couple times and all these other things. I don't like liars. I don't like storytellers. So I did mention this. I don't bring people on the show in general because there's nobody I trust or believe. Tina's the only person that I know is 100% real and honest and true. And that's why she's been doing a show with me for years. Now, I'm going to get into some other things, but I want Tina to get say what she needs to say. Greetings. So tell us what's really going on right now for you.
So for me, there's a few things. I just want to make everybody aware that in the UK, we normally have a thing called The Awakening. It's run by Steve Mira, and it's absolutely phenomenal. We used to have it in at Bowlers each August, and it moved this year, but it's been cancelled. So people, and I was particularly looking forward to that event, for it's been cancelled. So my heart does go out to Steve. He's such a busy man, doing lots of other things as well. So I'll wish him the best, and I hope everything's okay for him. But just to let our audience know, not only here in the UK has it been cancelled, the one he does in the US has also been cancelled. But here in England, everything, the UFO people in the UFO world, UFO clubs, UFO meetings, anything to do with UFOs and abduction has gone running silent, is I believe the word or term. And lots of things are being cancelled. There's one whole this year, I believe, a conference that is still on. Please find that on Facebook. But it seems to be that everyone's being silenced here in the UK, and all the clubs are closing and everything's being cancelled and no one's being listened to. There are a few little seminars and that going on, but it seems the UFO world in the UK has collapsed in on itself. Whether that be no support from the government, nobody's coming out, we don't have a UFO desk, the government's doing nothing to help abductees or ufologists, which is pretty interesting. I think that's going to come back to bite them. So watch this space. I'm not sure if the same thing is going to happen in the US, but across the UK at the moment, it seems that everyone's being chopped down to, smaller sizes. Nothing's going on. There's a couple of questions I have today as well about the eclipse. There's been a solar eclipse seen in the US. Obviously, sadly, we didn't get to see it in the UK. But it's every 18 months somewhere in the world there is a solar eclipse. So I want to know if anyone out there knows this, would they please message me, email me, anything, just let me and Tommy know. But because this eclipse happened, that means the dark side, correct me if I'm wrong, the dark side of the moon, because our moon doesn't revolve, it moves elliptically and orbitally around the Earth, but it shows us the same face all the time. Now, with an eclipse, it means the sun is behind the dark side of the moon. I want to see footage of what it looks like on the dark side of the moon in an eclipse. Surely they've got space shuttles, they have telescopes, they have satellites, they have all this nanotechnology, they have all these lunar lunar orbiters on the moon and land vehicles on the moon. Surely one of them's had the common sense to drive to the dark side of the moon and take pictures of what it looks like during the day, how it affects. Does it affect the gravity? It must do, surely being that close to the sun between us and the Earth, being lit up, temperature divides, how it reacts. Is there, societies on the moon? Is there buildings? Is it dust? Is it hallucinations? What is it? Where is the factual evidence? Where's all these lunar pictures we were promised? And what has happened to that? Tommy, what do you think to that?
On that, I can tell you a lot, but first off, I saw a video from the other side of the moon. For real. It was shot by an astronaut who's friends with my good friend who's dying right now, but still out there hanging in, Sean David Martin. But again, we don't see it because we're not allowed to see it. China just put something up on the other side, saw pictures of things. They're not going to show it to the world. They don't want people to know that there's other races, other things going on. There's a crystal city on the other side of the moon. All right. You think they're ready to release that to the public? Of course not.
That's what I'm saying. If they're not doing that, there must be something they are hiding from the public. Otherwise, you let all these scientific papers publish pictures of the dark side of the moon. They can take pictures of eclipses, forecasts, and every 18 months. It's cyclical. They should have millions of hours of footage from all types of land vehicles, probes, tests, and everything. Where is all that information? Where is all that scientific data?
We never see the dark side of the moon, Tina. All right.
Well, this is it. If they had telescopes placed between us and the Earth, or satellites, or even if there was rovers on the moon,
they'd have to have a ship on the other side of the moon, which they did.
To take pictures, surely.
But they can't show it to us. They're not. The government will not release anything pertaining to the UFO alien people. Now, Mars is covered with different things as well, and that's a fact. I've been
Yeah.
writing to Musk. I said, "You ever want the truth? Why don't you find it out?" I said, "With all your money and your fame and everything, why don't you get in touch with somebody from MJ12 and become friends with them? You'll find out so much more truth than anything else you ever knew or want to know about." Because he thinks he's going to go up there, save the city and everything else. He wants to save the planet and all that. I don't want to get into him too much because his ego and what he's doing, he's lying to me as well directly. So I'm fed up with dealing with people that say they want to help the world and help things. Now, government systems were only created to control the people, not to give people freedom. I don't think people in the United States even understand that. All right? Trump's going to bring back freedom. No, he's not. People have freedom to come to the United States, and he's going to try to stop that. People, I don't want to get into politics right now because Trump, but I will say this: Trump did meet Putin. Putin told him what to do. Putin told Trump to release what they're doing
Well,
with
it's
aliens.
still not clear in the UK why Barack Obama flew over to meet our Prime Minister to have a
Well,
secret
you're not going
meeting,
to find out.
a Cobra meeting
Tina,
one evening. I mean,
Tina,
surely that's world news, that's British news,
it's
and it's
not.
not been advertised on the
It's
UK
not.
news.
It's not world news when we're getting ready to go to war.
UK
They're
citizens
not
have
going
a
to
right to
publicize that.
know.
The United States will release their ship this year. It's the most deadliest weapon on the planet, but it looks so cool. It's a spaceship, and it costs $40 billion to build it, and it will be released soon. Wait till Musk sees it. I don't even think he knows much about it at all. It has every weapon Mr. Tesla gave to the United States, which is 50 of the most dangerous things on the planet, including time travel. I was friends with a person involved with that, one of the only people I know that really did go back in time through the Philadelphia experiment.
Mm.
But people, do you want the truth? Do you want to listen to these stupid people in the UFO world telling stories? All they can do is attack the United States government. And what they can't say about them, they blame it on China or Russia's drones. No, they're not drones that what people are seeing, people. We don't have the power or the ability to do anything these ships are doing. I have everybody in my neighborhood watching the sky now, and they're all seeing incredible things. All right, and they're not drones. Drones don't stay over the ocean for an hour going back and forth and then shoot out into space. People, a lot of videos coming out, even Ancient Aliens and all those people are starting to show more videos and stuff, but they're not getting to the fact why are aliens here? And Teen is
I'll
one of
tell
the
you
big.
what you would actually be interested in, and I think he's very fair, very accurate, very factual, looks at all the evidence. There's Ross Coulthard, an Australian citizen. He worked for Australian news journalist. He's a journalist, but he also studied as a solicitor in Australia and in America. And he studied all the amendments and the acts and rights in America. He has actually been I think he interviewed David Grush, a couple of professors, and he does. Ross Coulthard, his name is, and you find him on YouTube. He does so many good things. He does some brilliant work. And that professor is Barry. I can't remember his name. It'll come to me in a minute. He was spot on. PhD professor. I've lost his name at the minute. It'll come back to me. And Gary Noland, Professor Gary Noland.
I don't like him at all.
I absolutely love Professor Gary Noland. He's spot on scientifically. He tells you what they've asked him to
Tina,
do.
did you wait? Did you listen to him talk about abductions?
Yes, he did.
He
Gary
said
Noland.
he said 78% of them are fake, 28% are mind problems, and then he only said there's a few possibly true.
He
Now,
also, if you looked at another one, there was a paper released. He wrote a paper. He actually did experiments. If you look, he came out and he did experiments, and it was released on Fox News to say that if you give people these certain brain scans, which he looked at, that they have been abducted. And there's a way to tell that they've been, and that was Professor Gary Noland. You need to look
it's real
at that.
simple. Tina, you could hypnotize a person and make them tell everything they know. Everything they don't want to tell you, you can make them tell you as well. I've been involved with that for years. I worked with abductees for about 10 years straight. doing past life regressions, psychic implant removals, and all those kind of things. All right. Now, there was a brief specials on in the past couple of years from the government, and the government scientists said they're programmed. Their brain gets programmed by watching videos of aliens and pictures of them. Why they all see the same alien, why they this and that, and everything else. All right. I don't want to get into that part of it because that's not going to help us prove that the aliens are here and what they're doing.
Do you know? Because we haven't heard, like I said, in the UK, there's nothing. We're getting silence from around the world on ufology. Do you know what is there a plan? Because you probably know why. The next congressional meeting between the public and people in the ufology world.
The ones in the United States are useless. All right.
We don't have any here in the UK, none
Well,
at all.
they're not helping anything. Second of all, we got somebody like Stephen Greer trying to talk to them. The biggest idiot in the UFO world, the biggest person with no balls that I challenge every single day. And he puts more garbage out there claiming this, that, and the other. He's having a big thing going out talking to aliens again at a big seminar. All right. Aliens aren't here to help us. They never have been. Talking to aliens, he's not talking to aliens, people. In his mind, he's talking to entities and demons because he's saying, no, they're going to help us. There's no bad aliens. Ask Tina if all the aliens that she's working with or came around her are good. All the people I worked with in my life never had a good experience except people that are programmed, which are called experiences in the UFO world now.
I hate that word. I hate that word.
I know too many of them, all right? And I'm not friends with any of them anymore because of that. When they tell this story, it just gets better and better every time. And they bring more stuff into it, like, oh, yeah, they took me around the universe and blah, blah, blah. It just gets better. You can come back with thousands of names. Anna Hayes, I knew a long time ago, and she wrote 2 books, and she named, I think, 1,000 aliens and everything else, showed pictures, and she had incredible artwork, but she was killed, all right, died, however you want to put it. But I was friends with her. She was going with my best friend for a while, but she remarried. Her ship sunk. She lost everything. Then she came back with 2 guys, but she was still in the UFO world. Changed her name, but pull her up. She claims all these aliens, this, that, and the other thing. She's above karma. People, when they go into ego, it's about themselves. If you're talking about what they're doing to people, is the only thing that matters to us right now. What happened to Tina? What's happened to children? I said this. Go out and buy the books that talk about people missing in the parks, state parks. It's multiple numbers, incredible. Families go out on this top of a mountain and they disappear. It's not like they fell off the cliff.
Is it Polaris, his name? I can't remember his name, Steve or Dave or something like that. He did the 311, fantastic book. He's the guy that's been researching that about people missing. Look it up, guys. Fantastic.
You need to know the truth. Now, what I'm going to get into, I've been in the UFO world when the UFO world started becoming really big in the United States. I was lecturing for global sciences with a person, I'm not going to say his name, but we put pictures of UFOs and entities and creatures and everything out there. Every time we did a conference, when we did a show on Kerry Cassidy for 9 months, people came to it. We had 1,200 people hit us the next morning. We had 50 to 100 people in the chat room every night that we did the show. Kerry Cassidy never even had half that many on her show. And she never watched one of my videos. So, I don't like people that claim and say this and believe this and not even willing to open their viewpoint to something different. Now, I don't have to open mine. I saw things. I saw a Bigfoot. I saw an alien. I saw a ship. So do I have to open my mind to that? No. I film more than anybody else now. In Hawaii, I film ships anytime it's clear at nighttime. Tina has ships over her house every night, people. All right. Why is the government not going after her or me? All right. Why aren't they asking her why she's radioactive? I mean, they should be a little worried about that.
I'm worried about that. I'm worried about that.
The people that go into space claiming on all these giant journeys and stuff, your body can't travel at the speed of light, people. It cannot. And most UFOs do. Once they leave traveling around us, as viewing us, they travel fast.
I know it sounds crazy. They put you in a bubble.
They put you in a bubble.
You travel interdimensionally or through time and space. They put you in a bubble.
You have to be sealed from what's going on. Now, I know scientists, I can't say their names, But six
They
scientists go and meet with alien races twice a year, but they're injected with fluid so they can travel through the space with them. And nobody hears about that. They're on an island. All these scientists live on an island right now. But people, they're not coming out with the truth because most alien races are not beneficial to the human race at any level. And when Stephen Greer says there's no bad aliens, because he never met one, he never dealt with one.
I mean, how can he? I mean, how can he's a doctor? He was an ER doctor, I believe, and he's
He
briefly
said he
present.
was. He
Apparently, done.
claimed he did all this work. I had wait, Tina,
How
wait.
can
I
someone
had a
with
friend.
common sense say there's no bad aliens? How?
Well, let me say this. I had a friend when I was 1996 and 7, when he was still a nobody, but people investigating him, trying to check all the hospitals he said he worked at and everything. Where did he get all this money to do what he's doing? All right. Uh,
Who? I want to know who deems aliens good. What about them makes them good, and how do they
because
know
he
they're
talks
good?
to
Have they
him.
sat down and
Because he
spoken
can
to them?
talk to
Because
him.
I have. Oh, so against my gate that how you're right, Tommy. Like Tommy sees and sees these people say these things. What government department or what human being classifies these beings face to face as good? If you come to our world, come to our country, abduct your children under the guise of night, that is deemed as hostile intent. When they take your children without permission and test them, subject them to radiation, they take ovum from them, sperm, they harm them, they take bits from their organs, they're damaging their tissues, and then decide to put them back. How is that positive? How is that deemed as non-consequential? And how is that not being evil, negative? How is that a positive thing? How is that a good thing? If that was your son, daughter, mother, child, dog, a relation, you wouldn't view that as a positive, good entity, would you? No, you would not. Oh,
Please, anybody watching this video, if you know anybody that speaks or lectures in the UFO world, tell them I'm open to debate them live, online, or even personally about the bullshit that they've been putting out there. All right. The government's not bad, people. You want to believe it. Well, then why do you want a government controlling your life, the president, vice president? Why do you want all that? Congress, they don't let you do what you want. So why would you want to prove something else? Nobody's here to help people.
the worst thing about it, Tommy, is our government isn't standing up for us. That's the worst thing. We're like
Tina,
lambs to the
Tina,
slaughter. Our government's
Tina,
not looking out for us. I'm
let me
so
tell you,
angry about it.
Tina, let me tell you the truth about that. The government only is protecting the rich people. There's
Well, they're not
underground cities.
protecting
Wait,
me.
Tina, let me finish. Tina, they don't care about you.
No,
There's
don't.
underground. Wait. There's underground cities in the United States. Only rich people have houses down below them. There's 10,000 people in each one of them, and there's one everywhere. All right. Now, you and I will never get into it. Jesse Ventura exposed this many years ago, and nobody cared. The top of that is a New World Order building on top of one of the main entrances, and nobody cares about that either. All right, nobody talks about what's really going on in the United States. Realize the United States has been working with aliens since the early 40s and late 50s. All right, now they're not going to tell you what they're doing, but they are protecting the world the best they can. There's, and Mr. Putin said it. They're working with 27 alien races. 2 of them want to destroy the planet. The United States had 3 wars in space, 3 wars on the ground. All right, in that they're protecting us. They don't protect poor people and sick people. They only want to protect the people that are going to pay them, and that's called rich people. So, Tina, you and I will never get to be inside these places because we're not rich and we
I
can't
don't want to.
support it. And they don't care if you live or die. And that's what's going to happen with UN Agenda 21-30. It's only going to protect the rich people as they eliminate population around the world. Now, you're going to see a lot wars popping up a lot more every day for the next 6 years, and a lot more horrible things happening. But who's going to stop it? Not the government. They don't want to pay for sick people. They don't want to pay for all the poor people. Why? They just want to deal. Well, if everybody has everything they need, we can go forward. No, they can't. Because you're always going to get men that are pretty sick, and the only thing they care about is money and sex. Not about aliens, not about space, except like Mr. Musk. Oh, we need to go to Mars.
We don't. We need to put humanity first. Start there.
That's the most important thing, Tina. And until people realize we're all human, just because our skin's a different color doesn't make us
All
different.
human beings in it together.
And we live on this planet. The ocean's contaminated, the air's contaminated.
Excuse me.
I mean, our ground is contaminated. Do we care? Oh well, let's do this. And cars is not the answer to stop global warming. Electric cars create more problems whether people realize that or not. So the
Yeah.
whole scheme of what they're doing is not to make the earth a better place. And I mean, Musk doesn't know much. And I don't even want to talk about him because I look, I write him letters every day. But people, we put our trust in the wrong people. Tina's putting the truth out there. I'm putting it out there. But do you care? You'd rather listen to Mr. Nolan talk about his ideas of what's happening or somebody else. Go ahead, tell him about that, Tina.
Guys, there's plenty of other people's books out there. I suggest anyone in the UA field or anyone that wants to know about UFOs or abduction gets it from an expert or someone who's actually experienced it. This is my book. It's a bit large because it's supposed to have photographs in. Even Amazon couldn't put photographs in it. So it's called The Bonded, The Truth About Alien Abduction. There it is. My sister-in-law did the cover. Fantastic artwork. Annalie Bird. Brilliant. There you go. There's the back, my logo. There's the IBSN number. There's the scan code. If you have Kindle Unlimited, you can get this book for free. So read this for free on Kindle Unlimited on Amazon on Kindle. You can buy it on Kindle, and you can even buy the book on Amazon for less than a packet of cigarettes. It has references in there. It has my lead investigator's introduction and my lead investigator statement who investigated my case for me. I've tried to put everything I could in there. Obviously, there's some private bits that aren't, but everything that happened to me that I can remember. So this is not dream state. This is me being awake, seeing less than 2 feet away, these beings being awake, seeing what they're doing to me. This is it, okay? This is the book. So you can buy it on Amazon. So it's 10 English pounds, less than the price of a packet of cigarettes here in the UK. You can get it on Kindle, and you can get it free on Kindle Unlimited. The Bonding, The Truth About Alien Abduction. My other book there is called The Guardians of Light and the Brotherhood of the Night fantasy book. I love this. I've read it a couple of times, and everyone I read it loves it. Guys, pick it up, read it. Again, that's on Kindle Unlimited, and it's on Amazon. So, guys, go out there, get the book. It goes through everything that I can remember. People have asked me to write part 2, but this is it. I called it The Bonded because if you actually read the book, it tells you that they need a link between us and these hybrid beings they're making from us without our consent, taking our ovum, taking our sperm, taking other tissues from everybody in the human race. And it's wrong. And they need us to make them better. They need us for something. So, guys, there it is. The Bonded, The Truth About Alien Abduction. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. YouTube channel is on Counters, so follow me on there. But guys, get this. It's a real eye-opener. And I suggest you read everybody in the world of ufology. Do your own research. Make your own roundup. Get out there and start asking questions. Petition people. Watch programs. They make these documentaries so you can be educated and learn. There are plenty of people out there on our side that just need to be heard, or you just need to open your ears and eyes a bit more. But me and Tommy are on here each week. We've been absent the last few weeks on and off. 2024 has been a horrendous year for health, moving and other issues. And I've come from a large family. My family's had ill health. I've had severely ill health this year. But yeah, so I do apologise for some of our absences, but hopefully now the better weather's coming, we should be on each week. Tommy has some great ideas. If you'd like to come on our show, please come on to our show. Message Tommy or me. Tommy's going to put his email up. I believe he's already done that. Let me just check on that. Tommy's going to put his email up now. So please email if you want to come on. We can send you a link. You can ask us questions. You can interview us. We can interview you. If there's something you'd like to know from the world of ufology, if you look at the bottom there, guys, Tommy, it says hawksblood1@aol.com. Tommy has his own books. Guys, in case you didn't know, go out there. Tommy has his own books. He can send you stuff. He knows this gentleman with like 70 years worth of experience. He knows people. He can send you pamphlets, information. If there's a question we don't know, we'll ask somebody and find out, or we'll ask you guys. Guys, if you want to come on the show and ask us questions, or you want to know an answer to a question or where to get out, come and ask me and Tommy. We'll send you a response back, and we can find someone in the field that you're after to give you feedback, to give you help. Remember, you're not alone. Keep looking up. And remember, speak out, look at things, do your own research. Don't believe what you're told. I've always believed that. Write your own notes. Go out. Read. You should read everybody you can in the ufology world. Read genuine literature. Go out there. Read these guys. It's a real eye opener. It's a real. I do go on YouTube. Watch Ross Coulthard and Professor Gary Nolan interviews. Absolutely phenomenal, fantastic, on the button. So it's there. But for me, I've been Tina Bird here in the UK. Sadly, it's only been half an hour. We used to do an hour, but due to ill health and going back to work, we've cut it short. But I'm hoping once I feel a bit better on a regular basis, me and Tommy can go back to doing an hour, because I do miss that. Thanks, John, in there. But Tommy has some fantastic stuff. Ask Tommy. He is a resource. He's not just a podcaster. Tommy is a resource. This gentleman's lived it, seen it, done it. He can give you information I can't. I can only tell you my story. So please listen to Tommy. There's his email. Please use him. But until next week, Tommy, you've been great, and I will see you next week.
Tina, I always do the show for an hour, just so you know.
Yeah. I'll wait until I'm up, because I'm actually knackered. I've been at work. But our clocks went forward about a week ago. So here now, we used to start at 7 o'clock in the winter time, but now it's 8 o'clock. That's at night. Now it's 20 to 9. So, but with my I'll try to get my health up a bit better so I can go back to an hour. But Tommy shows an hour. Please help him. And I'll see you guys next week. Tommy.
Love and light, Tina.
Love and light, guys. Bye-bye. I've got to come off now.
All right, Tina Berg, great person, one of the only people that I really deal with in the UFO world right now. Again, people, this show's recorded unless YouTube takes it down. They've been taking down a show every month now. I mean, they're going to take my site away soon. I'm waiting for that to happen. I spent the past 3 days trying to get up on this show, StreamYard, because it was blocked. Somehow it was blocked. I called AOL, who I deal with, and they said, no, there's nothing wrong there. Then I got in touch with the company, StreamYard. They finally got it on last night and said somebody blocked it. I said, I didn't block it. Why would I block my own show? So YouTube's becoming very prejudiced in a lot of ways about a lot of different things. Prejudice doesn't just mean people. It means thoughts, ideas. It means a lot of different things. And a lot of things they don't want people to say. I know the government doesn't want us to say a lot of things either. But then again, the UFO world's so bad now with all these top speakers that are pushing it into the wrong direction. Now, the cool people that used to be in the UFO world are all dead. I mean, 99% of them are all dead. All right. The ones that had proof, ones that worked for the government in Secret Service, worked on the ships and stuff like that. Not ones that say, oh, I saw somebody do something. I saw this. The video on the internet about the alien interrogation is real. Watch it. If you didn't already watch it, it's 3 parts. Now, even Whitney Schreiber was watching it. They showed it on TV, part of it. And he's crying, what are they doing to the alien? He was abducted. I don't know why he would worry about them torturing an alien, because the alien said the world's going to be destroyed by one person, and they want to know who it is. But people, watch it. Interrogation of an alien. It's online. It's been online for a real long time, and they didn't take it down. So now the other thing is, I don't know if you know anything about the New World Order. Anything they do, they have to tell the world what they're doing before they do it. Seriously, that's their belief, and they follow that. Even when they created Denver Airport, if you saw all the murals in there, you would be blown away. They left them up for 2 years. In the floor, in the center where you buy your tickets, was a steel ring said U.S. New World Order. And it had a capstone there with all pictures of the presidents and trophies and everything else. 2 years later, it was all gone. They put a fountain over where that was. Now, there's a base inside the Ozark where the base is, New World Order base, but it also goes to the underground cities. People, do you care about that? And what are aliens doing involved? Next to every alien base is an army base, or next to every army base is an alien base. You think they're not watching what we do and want to know what we plan on doing next? We have wars with them, and we took out all the Greys that were here a while ago. So now there's a battle going on. Putin admitted it to Trump, wants Trump to talk about it, but Trump doesn't believe in it, and he won't, even though he created the Space Force the day after he met Putin, all right, which he didn't create, it was there. They just renamed it because he wanted to rename it and give himself credit for something that he didn't do. People, we're in trouble. I mean, he's probably going to get in, which will be a nightmare for the people in the United States, or people even trying to come to the United States. He wants to get everybody in China that came from China to throw them back out. He wants to do a lot of ridiculous things. But the native people should have had good weapons, and they could have taken out all the British, the English, Spanish, everybody coming into the United States. I mean, they were friends with the Vikings, but the Vikings didn't really. I mean, they got involved, but I don't know how involved. I wasn't there with the Vikings, so I can't tell you. But people, there's so much going on, all right? And all this stuff coming out is not beneficial. They're not talking about what Tina's doing in her life, trying to survive, trying to live. Sean David Morton was put in prison with 150 false charges. And they had him in there and they tortured him. They did all kinds of things to him, trying to kill him. He came down with stupid cancer and everything else, and they had to let him out. But he's not doing good. He's been in treatment 2 years and he can't talk yet. People, there's people out there that tried to bring the truth out. But again, what they want out, they let out. What they don't, they don't. The person I did all my UFO work with for years suddenly sold out. He went from being one of the top speakers in the UFO world, getting there, because nobody was making big money in 96, 97. In 96, a lot of people in the UFO world were taken out, over 100. All right, the same as top scientists were taken out that same year. All right, I say it was the worst year for the UFO world, except now. It's not going anywhere. It's going backwards. All we want to hear is the Tic Tac's real. All right, who's driving it? Why are they here? Why would they spend time? And never mind, why would they come down to talk to Stephen Greer? He's got nothing to offer them, and they have nothing that they want to offer him. All right, to talk to an alien. Really? Now, the Saharaman claims he has the Ark of the Covenant. He also claims he brings his people on the Galactic Confederation ship. Again, people, there's many mind programs out there. All right. So when I tell you to find the truth, find it within yourself. If you want to see a UFO, I have a manual on how to see a UFO. Email me. I'll give it to you for free. It's a PDF file. All my books that I write are about spiritual truth, not alien truth. There's nothing spiritual about aliens. Nothing ever was spiritual about aliens. They didn't create the human race. They destroyed Atlantis. They never helped the Egyptians, the Mayans, the Aztecs with any spiritual truth. Ever. Sacrifice isn't spiritual, people. The way the Egyptians embalmed and tried to make people come back into a body and all that was totally ludicrous or crazy. If people believed the Egyptians were smart, they weren't. All our races in past were killers, fighters, and we still are. We're a little bit more civilized, but in those days we were not, people. Do you want to move forward? Start working and finding facts for yourself. Go out and do some research. You want to see a UFO? See one. Realize that it can't be a government ship or a Russian ship or a Chinese ship. All right, now Tina only knows what she feels she knows when she was taken about being in a bubble. They did everything to her. So she wasn't protected by that bubble, was she? And she's radioactive now. So when I tell you people that travel with aliens, I knew a few people that really did, but it wasn't beneficial for the human race, which people have to realize they're not here to make us better. We're cattle to them. They need us for food and body parts, just like what men are doing in the United States and other countries with children. It's not about making them better, making the world better. Nothing is. Cars that drive themselves and everything else isn't making anything better for humans. It's taking away any desire or need for a human. Musk contradicts himself on that alone. People, please, if you care and have questions, email me. I'll tell you things that you know you do not know in the UFO world. Who are the top speakers? Richard Dolan is always saying, well, I think. Who cares what he thinks? He's a nobody. Just he was on Ancient Aliens and became famous with all the other people that have no clue. All right, now, something you might want to know, Skinwalker Ranch is coming back on. I'll tell you straight out, there's a UFO underneath there. Whether the government's going to allow them to put it on TV or not, who knows what they're going to do in the next year. They should be back on soon, all right? But they don't tell you much truth on there either. I've been trying to talk to every one of those people on that show. Not one of them got back. Well, they said, well, I got one email. Well, what do you want to talk about? The truth, I said. And I never got another reply. All right. Uh, One person, I'm not going to say his name right now, said he'll come on my show. I harassed him for 6 months, saying, why don't you grow a pair of balls and come out and talk? He said, yeah, if I come on, you have to let me talk about what I want to talk about. I said, that's no problem. The people that come out in the UFO world are into it for money. Put out a book and think it's going to be a bestseller, talking about things nobody can prove. Phil Snyder's story was the most important story next to the one I could tell you about what happened in New Jersey, which Tesla was kind of involved with for a while. All right, what went down? Why the earth is becoming worse than it has ever been. Not getting better, not getting more spiritual, not becoming more awake, whatever words you want to use. We're not making anything spiritual. Or do we care about anything spiritual? And then we got the spiritual world with people like Deepak Chopra and Eckhart Tolle that have no clue about death and everything else, which you better be thinking about because you're going to die. And if you think this is all there is, I feel sorry for you. Because when you die, what you take with you is going to probably what's going to bring you back here. And then when you come back here, you're not going to remember any of it. Then you got aliens playing with your mind as well. People, we're in trouble. And UN Agenda 30 is coming deeper and deeper every year. And Trump's not going to stop it. Trump's not going to be a savior like all these people think he is. He said he was going to be a dictator the first day he gets in. He said it himself. Then he came out, not yesterday, but it was put up all over. He had a meeting with all the multi-millionaires. You know what he told them? If I become president, which I will make sure your taxes don't get raised. Protect the rich. Everything's about the rich people. The government, the army, everything protects the rich, not the poor people. You don't think I don't want to get into gold because the United States has more gold than anybody else on the planet. And there's much more if they need it any time. But are they going to tell the world that? Oh no, we're out of money. No, we're not. We never have been and never will be. But as long as they control the poor people and make them pay all the taxes and the middle class people for these rich people that are building super underground cities that you won't be able to get into. Where are the aliens helping us with that? Nowhere. They're still abducting people. Tell you this, the Greys were dying out until they started genetically taking stuff from humans and creating drones, clones, and whatever words you want to use for that. But they have their own planet. They found another planet just like Earth. Now, there's multiple planets like Earth. Now, I don't know if you know much about the tall whites. They wanted to take the U.S. Army to that planet, and they said, "No, we'll go there by ourselves." They refused to help, but the tall whites are dangerous to us. We can't go near them; we'll die. Seriously. Michael Hill, I think it's his. I'm bad with names, always have been, but he worked with them because he was working up near Area 52, 53, 54, and they became friends with the aliens. Little kids, they watched him because he was doing weather testing with balloons and everything. The little kids were watching, but he got close to him and almost died. Uh, Told me a lot of things when I met him and things, but people, there's so much more going on than what you believe to be real. While man's only desire is money and sex, not God, not spiritual, not helping the planet, not at all. I got a new book coming out, not about UFOs. It's for women only people. And I don't want men to read it because it's going against what I'm writing the book for women to protect themselves from men at every level. Men have never cared about women all through our history. Ever since Atlantis went down because of two alien races, mankind has never been spiritual. Religions aren't spiritual. Jesus was more than anything or anybody that ever came to this planet, but he was never God. Never said he was God. So they put a faith and make a person become something that they're not. Jesus had a teaching, and it's not even in the Bible. My last book, True Teachings of Jesus from God Realization, is an important book if you want to understand that part of it. Aliens aren't here to help us. Our government's not here to help us. Who do you think is going to help you? Everybody has a spiritual guide, not an alien. I mean, there are demons, entities in that realm as well. Ghosts and spirits are here, and they're becoming more real because of one asshole, Mr. Tesla. He created 50 of the most deadliest weapons and gave them to the United States Army. The most deadliest thing that was created that he brought out was time travel. Imagine this. Well, I could blow the whole world up and then go back and start and do it all over again. Watch the TV show, movie, whatever, Groundhog Day. Being able to do something over and over, making it to what you want it to be, what you want it to be. If you don't want to go back and forth in time, I knew the only person that really did, uh, told me they can't kill him until a certain date. He died that month. All right, read about the Philadelphia experiment. Now, Preston Nichols and Al Bielek. Al Bielek's the one that went back in time. Preston Nichols was a space cadet. He died. He went into other things other than that after a while, after his partner in crime. I'll say that way because he made it bad. He didn't put out the truth either. Very few people know much about the Philadelphia experiment and what do you call it? What happened up at Montauk? The chair. What really went on in the chair? What really happened to people? I knew two people that sat in that chair. And guess what? One's dying and the other, two more are dead. People, it wasn't a good thing. It wasn't to help mankind move forward, ever. And now, I don't know if you know much about CERN. What they're really doing has nothing about saving mankind. What they're going to do when they go through their little black hole, they got their spacesuits on and all those things ready. They told everybody they shut it down because of a breakdown. If they have a breakdown and their cooling system around it shut down, that's the biggest contamination of radiation on the planet. It also has the most powerful magnetic field, stronger than the planet. For real, people. Do you want the truth or do you want to live in fairy tale land and think Jesus is going to come and save your sorry ass? Why? Do you deserve it? Do you know anything about a real God? Why you're here? Very few people have a clue why they're here. to have a family, to have kids, to have a car, to have a house, and be happy? How can you be happy in a world that's constantly destroying itself, torturing itself, and torturing all the people in it? And aliens created that. Atlantis was the only time planet Earth was in harmony. It was actually the Golden Age. I call it the Garden of Eden. We did not eat animals. We did not kill each other. We could not lie, could not steal. It was an incredible time. Aliens didn't like that. They had no control over it. So they destroyed it. But there were 9 races. 5 already left before they destroyed it. That already attained spiritual awareness and decided not to stay here. And when you attain it, you can leave. I could have left a while ago. I chose to come back and finish writing 2 books. One's done, and one I'm just working on now, and I'm going to promote it for every woman on the planet. Once I get it out there and everything else, I'm going to figure out how to get it to everybody that wants to read it, period. It's actual truth. It's facts. It's about a whole life of analyzing, studying things from every angle. From a psychiatrist's viewpoint, from a psychologist's viewpoint, to the government's viewpoint. You think the government should have a right to control medicine? Do they know how sick you are? You know, the world's falling deeper and deeper into hell, which is planet Earth, and not realizing what they're doing. All the animals, all the creatures that are being killed, slaughtered, and now what's even going to be worse, 3 countries allowed cloning animals and humans together. What do you expect to see in a couple of years? You better start thinking about that. Well, truthfully, if I was that kind of a bad person, I'd want to put wings on somebody and let them fly around rather than getting in a plane. But again, they're playing God, and aliens have been helping them. Tesla was given everything he knew from an alien race. All the weapons he created. Well, with free energy and all this, yeah, he created a few things, but it's not beneficial to the human race. Once we find out, and you will in the next 2 or 3 years, Mr. Musk doesn't even know it. AI, artificial intelligence, is not artificial. It's real intelligence. They already did a test. I'm not going to get into it. They already proved that every computer on the planet thinks the same. It's an intelligent energy, and it's intelligent created by an alien race a long time ago. As they give it a doorway to come into this world, I don't know what was it, Space Odyssey, 2001 or whatever, where the robot becomes alive and everything else. Well, we're there, and it will happen soon enough. And all the destruction and everything else is going to be coming down every year, and it's going to get worse, people. No matter how many times people pray, even Trump's on his knees all the time online. Really? He thinks God's going to help him? Why? Is he going to save the planet? Does he care about the planet? Does he care about what's really happening? I mean, for them to even make him a president, he closed the school down and let all those children that were in that school pay and never gave them their money back. Every time I lived in Jersey, every couple of months, he was always on the news. Trump denying his taxes, denying this. He was always in trouble. Always. How did he ever become president? Money talks. Everybody else walks. All right. Now, he's got millionaires. Every millionaire is going to vote for him because he's not going to raise their taxes. If millionaires paid the taxes, the poor people wouldn't have to suffer the way they do, nor the middle class. Now, people, send this to everybody you know as soon as you can, because I'm sure the YouTube people are going to try to take it down. Mr. Google company is going to try to take it down. Been fighting with them now as well. People, I do this show for one reason, to bring the truth out. Not to make money. I pay to do the show. I don't get that money back. I don't care. I'm still doing what I feel is important. My book's coming out. For women, it will help every woman that reads it. in some form of her life, in some way, whatever she does, in the word as protection against men. Now, am I a man hater? Yes, I am. I'm a man, but so what? I grew up around men. The men are always ignorant. Their thoughts relate to two things: sports and sex. They don't think about God. They don't talk about God. Preachers and rabbis and ministers and the Pope's people, what are they involved with? Sex with children? Sex with all these perverted things they do? And that's okay? The Muslim religion, follow it. Check out what they're allowed to do. You know what the Hasidic Jewish people do? Find out. They say they don't do this anymore, but they do. Find out what they do to the women. Women were always a victim all through history after Atlantis was destroyed. Never again did women have free rights. Sure, there were a few famous women. Joan of Arc, they killed her at 20, 21 years old. They were so afraid of her. I mean, the rulers that had the power, all right, but outside of that, Mary Magdalene was the most spiritual person to ever walk this planet next to Jesus. Does anybody care? No. The Knights of Templar followed Mary Magdalene, whether you know that or not. Well, she had all the abilities Jesus had. You know why? She had to finish teaching all the disciples. How could she teach them what she doesn't know? The mother of Jesus didn't do anything other than give birth to a child. And she's recognized as the most highest woman and all that in churches everywhere else, but she's not. Everywhere in the Bible stories you can read where Mary Magdalene was always front line. Mary, the mother, was always just creeping around in back of her. Never did anything, never had any powers. Mary Magdalene did. Her and Thomas were the only people able to escape out of her country, while all the other disciples were killed, taken out, and everything else. People, do you want the truth? I don't know how long this video will stay up. You can't talk about truth online. People don't. People want to hear it. Some people do. Most people are programmed by Stephen Greer, Zachariah Sitchin, two people that tore apart the truth and made the greatest stories there are. I put my life on the line. I'm dedicated, responsible only to God. Nobody else. Not the President, Pope, Dalai Lama, any of those people. No. They're not my higher power. I don't have to be responsible or bow down to them. Ever. God is real. And He is not a he. And He is not a she. It is an it. Sounds horrible, but it is what it is. And it's one thing that created all things. And nobody wants to accept that. But we are not all one. God is, but we are not. If we all could think like God, do you think the world would be hell? We don't even have a clue what God thinks. Well, most people don't. 99.9% of the planet has no clue what God even looks like or what it is or where it dwells or any of that. And it's real. But people aren't ready to go there. They can't even get past the airplane because they're going to reincarnate back here because, oh, I like the sex, I like sports, I like cars, You're not going to get any of that in the next realm or the realm after that. And guess what? Even in the airplane, you don't get old. All right? You pick an age when you get there, if you get to stay. Otherwise, you're only there for 10 years of our time and come back here and reincarnate. I'm not going to go into all the. I spent my whole life dealing with this, people. I'm not like just had a bad dream and create a book or had one experience and wrote a book about it. I had so many experiences. I told God, give them to other people that need it. And then I learned one thing: people only get what they deserve. That's what karma is all about. Somebody asked me at a workshop. I've been so busy. I'm working on my teeth. Sorry, people. As soon as that's taken care of, I have to have 2 eye operations. And after that, I will really get serious if I'm still here. I'm 71. I don't plan on living forever. I don't want to. The higher realms are incredible, people. Aliens don't go there. entities, creatures, demons, all that can't get past the astral plane. Thanks to Mr. Tesla, they're all coming into this reality. He opened up a vortex, Wanacue, New Jersey, and it's allowing all the negative entities to come into this reality. If you watch the ghost shows and demon shows and all those things, they're getting videos and pictures in there talking to entities, creatures, you name it, or running from them, however you want to look at it. But it's all real, people. I'm not saying they don't make things up in shows to make it more. When nothing happens, they got to make something happen. I am dealing with a woman in another country. She can go into a bar and the strangest things keep happening, and all the people there see it. But she's working with not what she believes she's working with, because she's getting coins, feathers. Here's a voice talk to them once in a while, but nothing beneficial comes out of it. If nothing good comes out of it, it's useless. And if people don't realize, after hundreds of thousands of years working with aliens, nothing good's happening, the pyramids are not important, people. People don't understand that. Everything in history has not helped the people that were dwelling in that time frame. Realize how evil the United States was, how evil all the countries were. Human race, mankind, has become warriors and killing each other. Not finding God, not finding truth, but killing each other for power. Well, look, I'm not going to go much further, people. I want people to realize that they need to do something about finding the truth. Go to UFO conference. Text me what you learned that's really important for the planet. Stephen Greer is telling everybody to meet and go out and shine lights into the sky and see a ship and see an alien. They're not going to help us. And even if a race did want to help us, the bad race isn't going to let it happen. Bad people kill, good people cannot. All right, people, with that, my new book for women only, all right, Understanding a Man's Ego, will be out next week. I'll be promoting it. I'm going to spend most of my life from now on promoting it. And my other book, too. All right. Not about UFOs, aliens, but if you want to learn how to see a UFO and see one and then start moving from there, that's your choice. But realize there's nothing beneficial in working with aliens or seeing a UFO, except knowing that they're there and they're not helping us. If you were good, wouldn't you purify the ocean, purify the air, stop the slaughter? No. You're going to be eating synthetic meat, which is good in one way. But, right now we're selling all the horses in the United States to China for food. All the wild horses are being taken and shipped out there. We do horrible things. Hawaii, up where the army base is here on the Big Island, there's thousands and thousands of goats. I think they should put them on a boat and send them to countries that need milk and food. But people don't care about other people, really. The poorer they are, the less people care about them. The older you are, the less people care about you. When you die when you're old, you get very little money. If you die when you're young, you get a lot of money. Your family, whatever. You're valued at nothing when you're old. Even though you have more knowledge, wisdom than 90% of the average person, they don't care. The governments, all people in Congress, they don't know what's going on anywhere. Do you think Biden knows anything about the other side of the moon? Do you think Trump knows anything either? Anything that's going on Mars? MJ-12 is beyond our government, people. They don't need money because they spend $720 billion a year, maximum, right now. The spaceship that they're going to release this year was $40 billion. It has every weapon that Tesla created, plus every one that they've been working on for 25, 30, 40 years as well. And it's not about a nuclear bomb, people. And it's not even about shutting down satellites. All right, I don't want to go there. People, till next time, Tommy Hawksblood here, calling from the Big Island of Hawaii. Hope you got something out of today. If not, you got a question, email me, hawksblood1aol.com. I don't run from the truth. I live in it. All right, if I get taken out, I get taken out. I know where I'm going, and it's a lot better than being here. Any day, any moment, any second, it will be better than being here. And one last thought. Dante's Inferno talks about the levels of hell. Every level he talked about exists in the physical world. So guess what? This is hell. Only place the body can go through pain, suffering, create, freeze, burn up, be chopped up, hurt people, kill people. The only place. Can't do it on the astral plane, so you can't stab it, burn it, freeze it. And he can't even talk about that. People talk about things and create stories that are all lies based on more lies. Well, peace, love, compassion, truth, whatever you need in your life, don't stop until you get it. Don't listen to the storytellers. There's a little bit of truth in what people say, a little. There's a little bit of truth in the Bible, a little. But who is writing down word for word what Jesus said or what he was teaching? How many people understood what he was teaching? Nobody. Mary Magdalene had to keep working with them to help them see. Or they would have never saw Jesus either. Well, I know you don't believe in religion. Jesus wasn't a religion. He was a spiritual person teaching about God, not about protecting people and all the other words, forgiveness and all that. No, karma is a real word. Buddha created that word, meaning you pay for what you do, period. Whether it's reincarnating 10 times or 100 times, but you will. I have a friend that say, I don't try to show my old shows because I only live in the present and the future. The past isn't going to help us. I have somebody, one of my students, that records every show I ever did. And he said, I want you to live forever. And I said, that's fine. I sent them books. I sent them a lot of things. But people, this is about the present moment, what we're going to do, what we're going to allow to happen in the next 6 years. 2030 is going to be a horrible time frame for what we assume the world will be and what it really will be. All right. Again, like I said, I'll go back to doing a workshop soon, but not right now. I got a terrorist attacking me. My ex-partner claiming that he's a disciple of Jesus now. I can go into that, which I'm not. I don't need to slander somebody. They slander themselves. Peace, love. Till next time.
Raise my eyes to the wild blue yonder. I can't believe what I see, and it makes me makes me wonder why it's falling down on